in a new way. Oh, thank you. That's very cool. And I want you to carry with you the thought of how you interact, how you hold your body impacts how you interact with the world and how the world interacts with you. Do you approach the world with an open body? Do you approach your conversations with an open mind? Could you approach the world a little more open? We'll just start today in an upright, cross-legged position. However you like to cross your legs is fine. Lifting from our seats bones found on in either butt cheek. We're going to begin with some side stretches. We'll place our left hand on the ground. Breathe in, lifting our right hand up. And as we breathe out, we bend over to the left. Breathe in to lift up, switching our arms, right hand down, left arm up. And breathe out to stretch over to the right. Notice your seats bones here as you breathe in, lifting up. Breathe out to stretch over. If your seat bone starts to come up, it's a sign that you've stretched a little too far. We want to ground through our seat bones here as we breathe in, lifting up, breathe out, stretching over. You can follow this movement to your own breath for a couple rounds. Maybe closing your eyes to really feel the sensations in your body. Trying to connect the full movement with your breath. On the next inhale, we'll come to a neutral position. From here, we'll come onto our knees, lifting up into a standing position, setting up for camel pose. And I want you to take camel pose really slowly. We'll roll our shoulders back, bringing our hands to our low back and lean back, keeping your hips over your knees, looking up. And you might just want to stay here. This might be a good stretch for you. If your breath becomes strained, it's a sign that this is where we stop. But if you'd like to go deeper, you can reach down for one ankle, reaching for the other, looking up, maintaining that connection to your breath, opening your chest, your heart to the ceiling. And we use our back to slowly come up and up. We can put our hands on the ground, curling our toes under. And slowly we're going to bring our bottom onto our heels and take this slowly. If you don't stretch your feet in this way, it can be very intense. Your feet are always crammed in shoes. If you wear high heels, this is going to be very intense. And maybe slowly lift up onto your feet, using your breath, really let your feet absorb this stretch. 3, 2, 1. Move forward and give our toes a little bit of pattern. Feels really good after that. We'll come into a tabletop position, setting up for cat-cow. Wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, hip width distance apart. We're going to breathe in, tilting our pelvis, bringing our belly to the floor, looking up, shoulders away from our ears. And as we exhale, we're going to arch our back, lifting our shoulder blades up to the ceiling, tucking our chin to our chest, tucking our tailbone. And we breathe in, using that full breath, matching it to the movement of our body, belly to the floor, shoulders away from our ears. And as we breathe out, we arch our backs, chin to chest, tucking our tailbone. You can follow that rhythm to your own breath for the next couple rounds. Slowing down or speeding up as needed. Perhaps closing your eyes. And on your next inhale, we'll come to a neutral spine. Breathe in, curling your toes under. And as we breathe out, we lift up into downward dog. First downward dog of the day. For the first one, or all of them, depending on your body, keep your knees really bent, allowing your back to be really straight, letting your neck and your head hang loose. Maybe you straighten out one leg and then straighten out the other, just easing into this pose. The idea for downward dog is to eventually get your heels on the ground, but depending on your body, your hamstrings, that might never happen. We really want that flat back and that head and neck hanging loose. And you can walk your feet slowly to meet your hands in the forward fold. Again, bending those knees as much as you need to be comfortable. And we'll slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Really feeling all the sensations in our spine, in our legs, feet against the floor. Roll our shoulders back, tucking our tailbone slightly, closing our eyes and feeling that connection to the earth. Lifting from the arches of your feet. We have a tendency to collapse in our arches. It's a slight movement, but just imagine lifting from the arches. Drawing in that energy with every breath and releasing any stress, anxiety back to the earth. Begin with our moon salutation. We breathe in, lifting our hands up over our head, clasping our left wrist with our right hand. And as we breathe out, we stretch over to the right. Again, using the breath as a guide. If you can't breathe, you've gone a little too far. Breathe in, we lift up, grabbing our right wrist with our left hand, stretching over to the left as we exhale. Paying attention to our left shoulder, keeping it in line with our right. We breathe in to lift up, clasping our left hand, left wrist with our right hand. Breathe out, stretch over. Breathe in to lift up, grabbing our right wrist with our left hand, and breathe out. Noticing your feet here, trying to keep them evenly connected. Breathe in to come back up. Breathe out to bring our hands down in front of our chest. Opening our feet into a wide-legged pose and bending our knees into our goddess pose. You can start with your hands on your thighs here. Your feet are slightly open and we're aiming for our thighs to be parallel with the ground, our knees to be over our ankles, but respect where you are today. Maybe we use our hands on our hips, our thighs here for support. Maybe you're able to lift your arms up in a power position. I like to sway back and forth here, really using my breath to help give me energy to stay up. For 3, 2, 1, and we straighten our legs slowly, turning our toes facing forward so that our feet are parallel with the outer edge of the mat. From here, we'll turn to the left foot, and it will be parallel now with the length of the mat, setting up for a triangle pose. We open our arms up as we breathe in, let our hips bump to the back. As we breathe out, we reach our left hand down to our shins. Maybe we stay here or down to the ground. Really using our abdominals here, not collapsing, but staying upright and breathing. Opening our chest, opening our heart, the sky. Breathe in, breathe out. From here, we bring our right arm down to the ground, right hand down to the ground, and pivot on the back right foot, stepping it about a foot in. setting up for pyramid pose. Pyramid pose can be really difficult. If you have some blocks or some books, it can really help to bring the floor closer to you here. If you need to run and grab some blocks or books right now, I recommend doing it. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can have some blocks or books here. And the idea is to keep our hips parallel while we reach down to the ground, stretching out the left hamstring. As we breathe, maybe you find some more space to bring your head down to your leg. But maybe you stay up here. This is a challenging one. If you have your blocks, we'll move them to the side as you bend that left knee and step the right foot back for a low lunge. Lowering our right knee on the ground, pointing our right toes. You can breathe in, lifting up onto the left thigh, and breathe out, sinking further into that lunge. Pressing your right foot against the ground, we breathe in, lifting our hands up over our heads. And we breathe out, bringing our hands down, framing our left foot. From here, we'll come up, tucking our right toes under, lifting up, walking our hands in front of us, coming into that wonky side lunge. So you can stay here, leaning into this left hip, or we lower down, bringing our right toes up to the ceiling, opening up into almost like a half yogi on one side, half yogi squat, while lifting your toes up. If not, we stay up here, and one day perhaps we'll be able to lower down. From here, we're going to straighten out that left foot, walking our hands to the middle, bringing our feet closer together as we lower down into a yogi squat. Perhaps we're on our toes here, our tiptoes. Maybe we can flatten our feet down, bringing our root chakra, our tailbone down to the ground. You can use your hands here to open your legs, or maybe you use them to hold the mat for a little more stability. Shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Really releasing tension. I just noticed I was holding it in my hips and my thighs. From here, we'll open our legs back up, setting up for that wonky lunge on the right this time. Leaning into that right hip. Perhaps we stay here, or we can lower it down, bringing our left toes up to the ceiling. Using that right elbow to press against that right knee to keep us in place. I find that really helps me. Really going for that straight back. Wherever you are, we breathe, really trying to get the benefits from that stretch by releasing tension. From here, we'll frame that right foot coming into that low lunge. We lower the left knee, point the left toes. Lift our hands up onto that left thigh as we breathe in, the right thigh. And breathe out, sinking into that lunge. Pressing your left foot into the ground, we breathe in, lifting our hands up, 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 up over our head. And as we breathe out, we frame that right foot, stepping the left foot up closer for that pyramid pose. So again, in pyramid pose, you might want to have some blocks or some books to bring the floor closer to you. Your hips are parallel, and we're going to feel a really nice stretch in the back right leg. So we can stay here, body parallel to the floor. At the block, maybe we come down closer, bringing our face, our head towards our leg. Breathing. Releasing tension. From here, we step back a little further, making sure our Left foot is parallel to the width of the mat, opening up into that triangle pose. We're coming into it from the bottom up. If you need to, you can set yourself up from the top, letting your hip bump back, reaching down, your right shin, shoulders away from your ears, opening your chest, your body, the world, the room, breathing. On our next inhale, we use our abdomen, our leg strength to lift ourselves up. We pivot that right foot in so that both your feet are parallel with the edges of the mat. We bring our heels in and bend down into that goddess pose. Opening our arms up, feeling the energy, or using our hands against our thighs for support. We tuck our tailbone, really lifting for 3, 2, 1. And we straighten our legs, up our feet together, or walk them together. We breathe in, lifting our hands up over our head, clasping the left wrist with our right hand, and breathe out, stretching over to the side. Maybe you notice you have a little more space. Breathe in, switching hands, and stretching over to the other side. Breathe in, switching hands, and stretching over to the side. Noticing your breath. Breathe in, switching hands, and stretching over to the side. And breathe in to come back up, bringing our hands together. And as we exhale, we rest in front of our chest. Take a couple deep breaths here. Your heart rate may be pumping a little faster. Use that breath. Cool your body down. Slow your heart rate down. We'll step to the front of our mat. Left foot forward and right foot comes back about 4 to 5 feet, depending on your stance, your body, setting up for warrior 1. And in warrior 1, your feet are hip width distance apart, about this far apart, hip width distance apart. And your right foot is at a 45-degree angle to your left foot, facing forward. Let's pay attention to that back right foot. We're really lifting from the arches, pressing the back edge of that foot firmly into the ground. When you feel that connection, we take our hips facing forward and bending into that left knee. If your knee goes past the ankle, you can widen your stance a little. The more you root that back foot, the more you're going to feel the stretch in your back right leg. You breathe in, lifting our arms up, lowering our shoulders, tucking our tailbone, and breathe out. With every inhale, we lift energy up from the ground, filling ourselves. And with every exhale, we release something that is no longer working for us. Bring our hands behind our back, clasping them together, opening our chest, bringing our shoulder blades together, and breathing. And release your hands, countering with a nice hug, showing yourself some love. As you inhale, we open up our arms, open up our stance, creating a capital T with our feet. So your left heel should be in the middle of your right arch. We tuck our tailbone, and again, if your knee goes past your ankle, open up your stance a little. Roll your shoulders back, bringing your shoulder blades together, shoulders away from your ears, and gaze over that left arm. Imagining that you are a strong warrior preparing for the battle that is life. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, lifting that left arm up, right arm back to our right thigh. And breathe out for reverse warrior. Lean back. Staying in connection with that breath. If you can't breathe, you've gone a little too far. We breathe in, coming back into that warrior two. And as we breathe out, we bring our left forearm to left thigh, right arm up over our ear, creating a nice straight line with our side body. Breathing, maybe we reach that left hand down to the ground, but really using our muscles to keep us lifted, not collapsing. From there, we breathe in and we breathe out, bringing that right hand down to meet the left hand, pivoting on that back right foot, framing that the left foot. And as we breathe in, we lift the left hand up for a nice twist. You'll feel that in your left glute. You'll feel that in your shoulders and chest. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, we bring our left hand down. Left foot meets the right foot into a plank pose or half plank. Yogi's choice. We look forward, breathing in. And as we breathe out, we lower down onto our belly, pointing our toes, bringing our forehead to the mat. Surrendering. We breathe in, lifting ourselves up slowly into a cobra. Being mindful of our low back, shoulders away from our ears. And we breathe out, bringing our forehead back to the mat. Breathe in, lifting up slowly, cobra. Mindful of the back, shoulders away from our ear. And breathe out, forehead back to the mat. We breathe in, lifting into a plank pose or into a tabletop, tucking our toes under. And as we breathe out, we lift into another downward dog. Maybe you've got a little more space in your legs after stretching them out and your heels can come closer to the ground. Maybe you need to bend those knees. We're aiming for a flat back. Let's this time walk our hands to meet our feet into a forward fold. And slowly we roll up. Maintaining that connection with your breath and the sensations in your body. Stay here a moment, feeling our energy flowing through us, slowing our heart rate, our breath. Okay, I'm going to face the other way so you can see me. We're going to step to the front of the mat again, stepping this time our left foot back, right foot forward, setting up for warrior one on the other side. We're again going to pay attention to that back left foot, really pressing the back edge of that left foot into the ground. We have a tendency to collapse into our arch. We have to lift from that arch. And then we'll take our hips, facing them to the width of our mat, and bend into our front right knee. If your knee passes your ankle, open up your stance a little. The more you secure or plant that back left foot, the more you'll feel the stretch in your left leg. We tuck our tailbone slightly as we breathe in, lifting our hands up over our head. Breathing in that energy. And as we breathe out, releasing any tension, anxiety, depression, and blocks. Breathe in. As we breathe out, we bring our hands behind our back, clasping, interlacing our fingers, clasping our hands. Breathe in, looking up at the ceiling, opening our chest, our hearts, our mind. And as we breathe out, we release, countering with a nice hug, showing ourselves some love. We breathe in, opening our stance, widening our legs for warrior two. Right knee over right ankle, creating a capital T with our back left foot and our front right foot. So right heel is in the middle of our left arc. We tuck our tailbone, open our arms up, rolling our shoulders back, and gaze over that right arm, imagining that you are a strong warrior, preparing for the day's battle. Breathing. We breathe in, lifting our hand up, our left hand back to left side. We breathe out, leaning back, using our abdominals here and our connection to our breath signal when we've gone far enough. We breathe in, lifting back up to warrior two. And we breathe out, bringing our right forearm to right thigh, left hand up and over our left ear, creating a nice straight line. Maintaining the connection with our legs, our muscles, lifting. Maybe we reach that right arm down to the ground. Breathing. And on our next exhale, we bring our left hand down beside our right, pivoting on that back left foot, right hand framing the right foot. We breathe in, lifting that right arm up to the side for a nice twist. Ooh, opening up your body. Feeling a nice stretch in your glutes. And as we exhale, we bring our right hand down. Right foot meets the left foot for plank pose or half plank. We look forward. We breathe in and we lower down as we breathe out. Pointing our toes. From here, we'll bring our hands to our low ribs and we'll breathe in, lifting ourselves up into upward dog on the tops of our feet. Your legs shouldn't be touching the ground here. Wrists underneath our shoulders, shoulders away from our ears. Breathing in and breathing out. In, and as we breathe out, we lower back down, forehead to back. Breathe in, lifting up into that tabletop position. Toes together, knees as wide as the mat, and breathe out, sitting your hips onto your heels, walking your hands out, forehead to the mat for a nice wide-legged child pose. Opening our hips, opening our chest down to the earth. Giving ourselves a moment for breath. You can rock your forehead back and forth here, giving your forehead a massage, stimulating that third eye, that intuition. Check in with your hips. Notice if you're holding any tension release. Check in with your shoulders, face, your jaw, your eye. You're clenching, you're holding any tension release. We slowly walk our hands towards our knees, lifting ourselves up out of that position, swinging our feet to the side, bringing our feet out in front of us, and coming down onto our backs, keeping our knees bent. We can take our right foot, crossing our right ankle just above our left knee, interlacing our hands behind our left thigh or our left shin, setting up for reverse pigeon. This might be enough of a stretch for you already. If it is, use that breath and breathe through it. If you'd like to go deeper, you can use that right elbow to press against the right knee. And as you exhale, bring your knee, your legs closer to your chest, while simultaneously trying to lower your low back down to the mat. Staying connected with the breath we're going for a stretch, but not strain. Using the breath to work through any emotions that come up, releasing anything that does not serve on the exhale, and filling yourself up with that good grounding earth energy with every inhale. We release our left foot to the ground, right foot to the ground, and cross our left ankle just above our right knee, interlacing our hands behind our thigh or our shin. Again, this might be a deep enough stretch, so just use your breath here. Or if you'd like to go deeper, use your right elbow against your left elbow against your left knee. And bring your legs towards your chest while bringing your low back down against the mat. Breathing. And notice if the left leg feels different than the right leg. I know for myself with my hamstring injury, I cannot go as deep in this position. As we exhale, we release the right foot to the ground, the left foot to the ground. Opening up our hands, we can take our hips to the left side of the mat and let your knees fall to the right side of the mat for a nice spinal twist. Breathing into your belly, giving your inner organs a nice massage. Breathe in, lifting our knees up, bringing our hips to the right side of the mat, and letting our knees fall to the left, twisting the other way, breathing into our belly. You can look to the right, bringing your right ear down to the ground, remembering that your neck is an extension. Deep belly breaths activate our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state of the body. If you ever find yourself triggered, maybe when you're confronting someone, or really at any time, but I do find it's normally with people with me, taking 3 deep belly breaths, taking 5 deep belly breaths, and calm your body down in the moment. And on our next inhale, we bring our feet, our knees back up, wrapping our arms around them, giving them a nice hug. You can take our hands, putting them on our kneecaps, gentle circles one way, giving your low back a nice massage. And gentle circles the other way, your low back. From here, we'll grab the outer edge of our right foot with our right hand, bringing our knee into our armpit. Grab the outer edge of the left foot with the left hand, bringing our left knee into the left armpit, opening our legs into happy baby. Bringing our low back down to the ground as much as we can, and rocking back and forth, connecting with the child inside, sending some love. You could say something loving to your inner child right now, what would it be? say that out loud or say it to yourself. And we lower our feet, letting your knees fall to the left and fall to the right, giving your glutes a nice massage. We'll continue to let them fall to the left and to the right as we extend our legs out into Shavasana. Our final resting pose. Feet can be as wide as the mat, hands can be by your hips, palms facing up, or maybe you like them on your belly, or maybe one on your belly, one over your heart. Take a moment to press your head against the mat and lift your chest off the ground, tucking your shoulders slightly before lowering them back down, flush against the mat. It's time to rest, balancing out the strengthening and the stretching, allowing gravity to do the work. Return to your natural breath. We're going to be here for a long Shavasana, and I've picked out a beautiful chanting YouTube meditation for us to follow along with. I'll share that now.
So just lying down,
Please
we're
ignore
going to
this.
focus the attention on the
Shanti. Shanti.